What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and I'm back with another Flashpoint. Alright, so let's talk about some of the controversy that's been going on between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. There's been some backlash, some aftermath, and some things that have been coming out in the news for both fighters. Obviously, Tyson Fury is the new WBC heavyweight champion. Congratulations to him. And Deontay Wilder is trying to figure out what he's gonna do. So some of these tweets and some of these things that I'm about to present to you guys are some of the things that have been going on after the fight. As you can see, I have some stuff pulled up, and I'm just gonna tell you the way I found out about all the stuff that was going on, and then I'll give you some talking points. I'll also give you some of my opinion, and let's break this down. So the first tweet that I saw from the Deontay Wilder side was his wife. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I just want you guys to see that there were some things said here that showed that it was possible that Deontay Wilder would fight again. So out of that tweet, if you go and research it yourself, or as you can see here, there's a hashtag WilderFury2. She praised him for most of the post, and then after, she basically said, you know, you're a really good fighter, you never quit, you want to fight again, and you always have fight, and you love your kids, and you know they love each other. It's a praising type of post. But then there's also that hashtag, you know, the saga continues, you know. So once I saw that, I said, okay, you know, there's a chance for part 3. Being that this is a big fight and both fighters are controversial, no matter how you want to spin it, no matter how you want to look at it, it doesn't matter what side you're choosing, both fighters are controversial. Point blank, period. Alright, so moving on. We have some tweets from Lance Pugmire. This tweet says, also told by Bronze Bomber that he is reevaluating his assistant trainer. Quote says, I'd rather die in the ring than have the towel thrown in. I'm a warrior. So when I read this, I said, man, okay, this is not surprising. You know, trainers they're usually fired after big fights like this. Shout out to Mac as well. They usually get fired after big fights like this. It's sad. It's also part of the game. So coaches are always negotiating how much they get paid. They're always taking pay cuts, and they're the first to get blamed when everything's going wrong. They have to take backlashes from the boxers, attitudes from the family. They're the scapegoat, and that's basically what it comes down to when it comes to Mark Breland. It sucks. It's not cool, but it's part of the game, and there should be more job security for trainers. The quote I didn't like so much when he says he'd rather die in the ring. It's not the first time that fighters talk like that, but in the past, Wilder has talked about killing somebody. Not in those words, but basically saying that he wants to hurt somebody to a point where they die. He said, I want to catch a body. He said this in the past, and now he's saying that he would rather die in the ring. When you look at the photos and you look at the video or the end of the fight, you can see that his eyes were closed as he was getting punched and the fight was being stopped. And then you see him wake up with his eyes open like, you didn't kill me? Like, what happened? So that was not safe. I think that the commission should take a look into these things and not just sweep it under the rug. There has to be statements said, in my opinion. So, moving along, here's another quote. Deontay Wilder just told me he expects his third fight with Tyson Fury to happen sometime in the summer. His contract states that it must take place by the end of July. Date and site to be determined. WilderFury2. So he is looking to fight again. It's another clue. Also, it has to be by the end of July. For some reason, that is important. And also, that's mainly it. He just wants to fight him again. That's what this tweet is about. Okay, that's a repeat. Let's put that to the side. My man Kevin Ioli. Go follow him. He is a great journalist. I've been following him since like the early 2000s. He never fails. Always has great information. He lives here in Las Vegas. He's one of my favorite journalists in the boxing game. You can never go wrong. So here's another tweet. Just got some information. Wilder did not have a broken jaw as some have speculated, nor did he have a broken eardrum. He had a 2-centimeter cut in his ear that took 7 stitches to close. Now, that I believe, the broken jaw is still speculation for me because there's no paperwork to say that there wasn't a broken jaw. But at the end of the day, if that's what his team is saying, then that's what it is. I never speculated his jaw being broken to begin with. I heard the rumors, and when you look at some of the pictures, there are some stills of his jaw looking out of place, which is why I believe that it's possible that his jaw was broken. But when the fight was going on, I didn't hear any commentators talk about that, and I didn't see any blow that looked like it changed him to say, oh, my jaw, my mouth, my face. I'm pretty sure that those things happen around the same time, and it's just part of the game. So moving on, Kevin Ioli says Wilder also expressed displeasure with the work of referee Kenny Bayless. Now, my opinion on this is that I thought Kenny Bayless was the perfect referee for this fight. Being that they're two very different style of fighters. The whole thing where Kenny is usually stopping a lot of the fight, it's very important in a fight like this. You got Fury, who's physical, who doesn't mind tying up, who moves a lot, and is a big man. So you need a taller referee to be able to see everything. So the way I saw it was that when they hired him and I saw him in the ring, I saw it as like a thing where it's like, this is a taller referee, which is good. You need a tall referee to break them up, so at least the fighters can respect him and hear him and be able to see everything. He has enough experience. He lives in Las Vegas. He's been in big fights. You name it, he's been in a lot of them. And number 3, he's always attentive to things. Always. Whether it's for the side that we don't want to win or the side that we want to win, he's always attentive. So, regardless of the fact, I thought he was a perfect fight referee for the fight. Wilder's a different style fighter, and I don't understand why Wilder expressed this now when the referee was helping him in many different occasions. Around the 6th and 7th round, I watched it back and I realized that Kenny Bayless was mainly only looking at Wilder and only thinking about him. There was a couple times that he even separated the tie-ups and he put his hands back like, all right, whatever happens is on you. Um, there was a lot going on with the fight when it looked like Wilder was about to be knocked out or dropped. There's a lot of people yelling. There's a lot of people in the corner, like looking at Wilder. When the fight would go on to the break for like the next round and stuff like that. And Kenny Bayless was on point from what I saw. Shout out to T Street as well. Um, it's pretty interesting what Wilder expressed here. And then you have this video recirculating. This is not a video itself, but you have this video recirculating about the sparring gloves that Tyson Fury used versus another spar slash boxer guy that was in sparring with Tyson Fury, and noticed that Tyson Fury's gloves were manipulated, and the gloves were tampered with. So this is the article here, which was in last year. This article is basically about what happened and around the time that this was going on. So he was sparring for Deontay Wilder in the first fight when this happened. This is his quote from the time that it happened. Tyson Fury says, "This is Tyson's shit." Oh, I'm sorry. This is the other guy, the sparring partner. His name is Nicholas Asbury. I just want to get Tyson Fury's comments. It says, I've not seen any videos, so I don't know what everyone's going on about, but I've heard something about gloves that I've taken padding out of the gloves. For who? For Nicholas? Please, I have a day off. Will you? Have a day off, will you? Have a day off and have 2 off, please, on Sundays. So you think me at 30 fights, unbeaten for 11 years or whatever, is going to take some padding out of gloves to punch up a sparring partner who's a bum anyway? Very unlikely. There's some screenshots and whatnot. Asbury doubled down on the accusation. I contacted them and they told me they would compensate me after the Wilder fight. They tried to talk me down and say they didn't do anything to the gloves. So there was some screenshots when it came to Tyson Fury's ex-coach, trainer, saying that why'd you have to take it to the public and such. So that is repopulating right now. And then we also have this video here that is also repopulating. Let me try to put this up. So this is from the first fight, and I had to show you the sparring gloves for context to go along with this and not hide anything. I want everybody to see everything that's going on when it comes to these two guys. They're both controversial fighters. So here we have Fury flicking his glove like a jab, which I don't know which fighter said it in the past, but I think it might have been Andre Ward, and he said it's illegal for him to flick his glove like that or something of that nature. But yeah, there's an accusation saying that Tyson Fury was using the glove in a not the way it's supposed to be used. He has his hand halfway in the glove and swinging the glove just to make contact, and then go around with the right hand, which is dangerous and it's questionable at the very least. So from that angle you can see that he is making contact with those gloves, and it does look questionable. It does. It The accusation seems correct in my opinion. Um, if you're looking at it from how he's using it, his forearm, how he's positioning the punch, and how it's landing, it looks floppy. It's not flush. It does look like Tyson Fury was manipulating for sure with the glove. And like I said in the past, both guys are controversial in my opinion. You know, regardless of whose side you're taking, Tyson Fury has had some things on YouTube that was said by him that were questionable, that were on the other side, of the realm when it comes to things. I'm not accusing his character. I'm just saying that what he's done, regardless if I agree or not. Um, he just does things a certain way that doesn't make him like a straight edge boxer. He's controversial. He says things that are outlandish at times. Now, the religious part of it, I respect. The fact that he talks for folks that have gone through mental illness, I respect highly. Um, when it comes to the fact that he is not like he doesn't look like Deontay Wilder, he doesn't look like The Rock or something like that, and he's just a normal looking fighter. Besides the fact that he's 6'9", and he's energetic and he's entertaining, he's a big fan of Muhammad Ali and all the greats. I love that about him, but I'm not gonna take away the fact that these things are going on. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard of people messing around with gloves. If we wanna take it into a deeper avenue or a deeper way of thinking of this, we could talk about all the stuff that's been going on with baseball. I have my opinion with that, and I'm not gonna go deep into that. But when it comes to cheating in itself and sports, it happens. I mean, even as a kid, I saw it. Even when I was 13 in a baseball team, I saw people cheating all the time, and it was one of those things where kids would tell me later after, and they would just be like something like, "Wow, really? I'm glad you told me." You know what I'm saying? But then when you get to the big leagues, you're not gonna be told anything. You might not even be told until 20 years later. There's that documentary with Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran where, Sugar Ray Leonard's literally trying to figure out how is it that you didn't bring your A game. He was trying to talk to Roberto Duran like 20, 30 years later, like, what happened? And it didn't work out, but these things, sometimes they don't go how we think they should go. And sometimes, the people that cheat don't say anything to the other team because they don't want the rest of the world to find out. And it's not something that they can just, bury the hatchet on in the public, because there's money involved, there's gambling involved, there's people that pay for tickets, there's people that pay for pay-per-view, and there's fans that bought merchandise and they were looking at advertisement, looking forward to the fight. They spent their money and time to watch this fight, and then when you start hearing things like this, people are not going to be willing to just see them bury the hatchet. So obviously the controversy is going to continue to go on. These things lead into another fight, and sometimes it causes displeasure for people to watch the fight again. But ultimately, without all of this, my opinion was that Wilder has the right to exercise his rematch clause. That's my opinion. Even though, the way I see it, Fury already proved that he can beat Wilder decisively with no problem. I thought that he won when it came to the draw. I thought that he won a couple Saturdays ago, clearly, it was obvious. When it comes to the things that Wilder has been saying, um, with the displeasure or firing and all this other stuff that's been going on, um, I think some of the reasons are valid, and then some of the things are excuses because he's saying that he wasn't hurt. That, I think, is not true. I think he's trying to save face for his fans, and I'm not even going at the suit right now. I'm not even going at the costume that he wore for his entrance. I'm just talking about the quotes that he's put out saying that he wasn't hurt. That to me is BS. Um, when it comes to him wanting a rematch, when it comes to him saying that Kenny Bayless is the reason why um, he lost the fight. I feel like when a fighter does that, there's a couple reasons why they do that. One, they still want to avenge what happened. They don't like the results. This is not a contest where it's not, this isn't play. We're not playing around. He knows that, but he still put that out there. Okay, I guess that's for your fan base to say that Kenny Bayless is the reason. All right, cool. Then you have the whole, firing your assistant. That is a whole separate thing. Literally a whole separate thing. And then you say that you weren't hurt, and the reason why is because of your costume. That is a whole separate thing as well. So when I see that fighters are doing that what that means is they either are trying to avenge their loss because they don't agree with the results. Number two, they might still have fight in them to fight again. So in a sense, they're kind of like punch drunk. They want to keep going. They want to keep. They don't want to come off as a sucker or someone that can't get up from what just happened. Or number three, it's about the money. Deontay Wilder was guaranteed $25 to $30 million for that fight, and I'm sure he got money off the back end. There is some other things going on that I noticed. I'm not gonna speak on right now, but I just saw a limited amount of support when it came to Deontay Wilder and the PBC roster and things like that. That's basically what I'm hinting at. I don't have to go into detail if you watch boxing, but I just saw a limited amount of support, and I think that was because the first fight was so controversial that this fight was going to be even more controversial. So the money is a big deal, and I feel like that's another reason for him to open his mouth. So out of those three things, I want to see what you guys think. And maybe there might be some other reasons why a fighter would do this. I don't really believe everything that he's saying. But I do think that it's an effort to get the third fight. We all know that. That's not like something like breaking news or whatever. This is an opinion piece. So all I'm trying to say is that I think that it's all of them. And I think that when it comes down to it, these guys are controversial. They will always be controversial. They were controversial before this fight. They were controversial before they fought the first time. They're controversial fighters. I'm still waiting for more. There's going to be more quotes. There's going to be more things being said. Obviously, the one about his suit or his costume that he wore, saying that that's the reason why he didn't fight well. That's another thing that it's like, okay, but that is the worst he has said. That is the most outlandish thing he has said. And I'm not even going into detail because at the end of the day, we all know that's not the reason. So I'm not even going to go that deep. But I did notice that after the fight, they were focusing on his ear. There were reports about him losing his hearing. I saw his coach pointing at his ear when the fight was ended. Also, I saw his wife rubbing his leg. So there was like this thing about his leg. The commentator spoke about his leg, and it was something about how his leg was a factor. If you look at the lead up to the fight, when they're in their locker room, there's a workout going on. Deontay Wilder's literally being stretched on his leg, and Fury's watching it, and he's mocking him almost like in a sexual manner, trying to say that, if I was in front of him, blah blah blah, whatever. That was funny, but at the same time, I'm trying to point out that Deontay Wilder was focused on his leg, and something was wrong, definitely wrong with his leg. There's been reports of Wilder not using the track. He does not run miles to fight. There's the whole comparisons to James Toney and whatnot, that he barely used any of the other boxing equipment aside from going inside the gym. All he would do was go and spar and then leave. So it's kind of like that. Controversial. More controversy. So all I'm trying to say to you guys is there's going to be more stuff being said. This is going to be critiqued by the media, and this is the fight game. This is what happens when fighters are fighting. They're leading up to a second, third fight, or there's displeasure, whatever. I'm at a point where I don't know which side to take, but I will tell you this: I already congratulated Tyson Fury, and I'm not going to critique anything to a point where it makes me think that the win is questionable. This is a sport. This is boxing. This is the fight game. And the same would have been done if the shoe was on the other foot. So, I was one of those people that came out and said what I had to say about Canelo and his team. And when it came to the raps and whatever, and Abel Sanchez, and then now Abel Sanchez is fired or whatever. Those things are old news to me, and I learned from that. But I will say this, and obviously the stuff with Maypac, I've said a lot. But to me, these are two controversial fighters, and that's where it ends. Whoever wins, wins. And that's it for me. The heavyweight division, I love it. I always loved the heavyweight division. I don't know it like some of you guys. I know more of the lower weight classes, and that's okay for me. But I'm not going to take any sides. I'm going to pay attention to what's going on, and I'm going to report it as much as I can. And you will see me report it. At RafLegend193, Instagram, Twitter. Check the description for all my other information when it comes to boxing groups and whatever. Go over there, state your opinion. Let's see. Maybe there's some things I'm missing. But at the end of the day, this is the fight game, man. And I'm all about listening to everyone's opinion. I want to have a great discussion about these fighters and how the outcome turns out, and technique and whatnot. I haven't even gotten to the fight itself like that. I broke down what happened after the fight, but I haven't gotten into videos or nothing like that. I'm not even breaking down technique because that's not how I do, and a lot of times I have to work anyway. But regardless of that, I love the fight game. I would like to have a more deeper conversation with you about this, what's going on here. But at the same time, I know that this is the fight game and controversy will happen. So until next time, folks, you already know it's your boy Rex Righteous. Let's try to keep boxing alive. And hit me up. Don't be afraid. Peace out.
So it's burning me lips, a shepherd to the sheep, a paternity test. We show that I'm your father, boy, learn some respect. You feel that? That's my foot on your motherfucking chest. I swear I wrote the book on how to come for your neck. Pull your card, your numbers up, crumble your deck. What's a lion to a dinosaur? Call me Righteous Rex.